Assalamu alaikum, grade 7s. Today we'll be looking at the concept vocabulary as well as some word study relating to the literature that we have covered this week. And the literature that we have covered this week, the name of that story or the excerpt was From the Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. And we have already done the reading and the comprehension check. So I'm going to take you through some of the language development exercises that you will find on page 464 and 465. So I'd like you to have your perspectives ready on those pages so that we can go through some of the activities and exercises, and it will also lead you to a better understanding of the literature. So let's just recap on some of the concept vocabulary, and you know that the words, the definitions of those words we will find on the previous pages. So the first word is ruthless, toil, doomed, bitterness, sorrow, and frantically. Now, the book asks us, why these words? The concept vocabulary words describe extreme emotions or conditions that people experience. Ruthless, toil, doomed, bitterness, sorrow, and frantically. These words describe extreme emotions or conditions that people experience because these words are connected and very closely related to the unit theme, which is facing adversity. For example, the men feel much bitterness as they sell their belongings. The women feel great sorrow as they say goodbye to their homes. And the characters frantically load their cars and leave their homes behind. How does the concept vocabulary sharpen the reader's understanding of the story's characters and setting? And here we'll see on the left-hand side where I have the cursor right now, it says the concept vocabulary sharpens the reader's understanding because the words describe how the characters feel as they leave their farms and start over. So these words have a lot to do with the feelings and emotions. It sharpens the reader's understanding of the text. Number 2, what other words in the selection describe or relate to the difficult conditions these characters face? And if we look here, we can see the words spoiled in paragraph 1, stunning in paragraph 8, anger in paragraph 10, drought again in paragraph 10, dust in paragraph 10, and flood in paragraph 10. So these are some of the difficult conditions and some of more of what the characters have to face: anger, flood, dust, spoiled, drought, etc. So here it also tells us the concept vocabulary words appear in the excerpt from the Grapes of Wrath. Use each word in a sentence that demonstrates your understanding of the word's meaning. So, as part of your practice to even further enhance your understanding and ability to use these words, you need to go back to the previous pages, which is on page 456 up until page 460. And there you will find the definitions of those words, and that will help you and assist you to use these words in your own sentences to show that you understand the meaning of the words. Right, if we go a little bit further down, you will see word study. And there it says Old English suffix less. Okay? Less is a suffix, a word that goes to the end of the word, of the root word. So the Old English suffix less means not having. Okay? For example, if I give you a word like powerless, okay, it means without power or unable to be acted on or to act. It usually indicates that the word in which it appears is an adjective. For example, the word ruthless means having no pity. Okay, so when we say that someone is ruthless, it means they have no pity or no compassion. And here's another example: merciless or cruel. Okay, Merciless means having no mercy or being very cruel. In the story, the men are described as ruthless as they pick through belongings with no outward show of emotion or feeling. Number 1, write your own sentence that correctly uses the word ruthless. Again, go back to what the definition of the word means so that you can use that word in a sentence of your own with the suffix less at the end. Number 2, write definitions for these words, consulting a dictionary if you need. Heartless, pitiless, and purposeless. Again, even the book and the question encourages you to use the dictionary or even a Google dictionary and go and find out what these words mean. Heartless, pitiless, and purposeless. Okay? Number 3, think of 2 other words that have the suffix less. Record a definition for each word and write a sentence that correctly uses it. Okay? There are plenty of words out there that use the suffix less. Right, if we go a little bit further down on the next page, on page 465, okay, just want to take you through a little bit of the author's style, okay? And the author of this excerpt or story is John Steinbeck, okay? And what was the kind of style that he uses? Descriptions of people. So he describes the people, he describes the places, and things are shaped by word choice. So the kind of words that he uses, the specific language an author uses to create a strong impression on the reader. Word choice also helps a writer create imagery. Okay, so what picture, as I often told you before, what picture are you forming in your mind when reading? Remember, good readers form images in their minds. They picture this, and that leads them to a greater understanding and to more enjoyment of the text that they are encountering or that they are involved with. Okay, descriptive language that appeals to one or more of the 5 senses. And here are some examples from the text. Precise words, that plow, that harrow. Remember in the war we planted mustard? See, descriptive words. Imagery, okay? Plow, harrow, mustard are all simple, precise words. And then it goes further on, using imagery, for example. Take the little glass brow band, jewels, roses, and red underglass. These words appeal to the sense of sight. And his pipe still smells rank. These words appeal to the sense of smell. I choose the fluffy pillow. These words appeal to the sense of touch. So this is the kind of descriptions, or these are the kinds of descriptions that the author uses to convey his message so that the reader understands the imagery, okay, and the different senses that descriptive language uses. There we go on, and we see at the bottom of page 465, you have a practice activity. And here you are required, it says complete the activity and then respond to the questions. It says reread paragraph 7 of The Grapes of Wrath. Use the chart below to show 3 examples of Steinbeck's word choice to describe the horses. All right, so let's go through some of these answers. Possible responses, matched in color, okay? It describes how the horses are matched in color. Stiff pull, straining hams and buttocks. It describes the muscular description of the horses. They look over the fence sniffing for us. Stiff ears swivel to hear us. Deep lungs, feet fair and clean. And these are the phrases or words or sentences that helps us to understand the description of the horses. And then number 2, it says, which words from the graphic organizer enable you to imagine the horses most clearly? Explain your choices. To which senses do the words you chose appeal? Okay, so any one of these descriptions here, choose the best one for you that helps you in imagining the horses most clearly. Okay, and also why you chose those words. Number 3, interpret. To what sense do the images in paragraph 13 mostly appeal? What mood or atmosphere does the use of these images create? Right, visual. B, I'm going to take you back to paragraph 13. I just want to reread that for you. And paragraph 13, we will find on page, I suppose, 459. And here you will see paragraph 13. Now you know well what we can take and what we can't take. We'll be camping out, a few pots to cook and wash in, and mattresses and comforts, lantern and buckets, and a piece of canvas. Use that for a tent. This kerosene can. Know what that is? That's the stove. And clothes. Take all the clothes. And the rifle? Wouldn't go out naked of a rifle. When shoes and clothes and food, when even hope is gone, we'll have the rifle. When Grandpa came, did I tell you? He had a pepper and salt and a rifle. Nothing else. That goes, and a bottle of water. That just about fills us, right up the sides of the trailer, and the kids can get in the trailer, and Grandma on a mattress. Tools, a shovel, and a saw, and wrench, and pliers, an axe too. We had that axe 40 years. Look how she's worn down. And ropes, of course. The rest, leave it or burn it up. So what senses does this paragraph appeal to? If we look at that question and we refer to the answer, we will clearly see the following. So that's on page 465, which is the third question. And it asks us here, to what sense do the images in paragraph 13 mostly appeal? Obviously visual, those senses. B, what mood or atmosphere does the use of these images create? The images create a mood of resignation and desperation as the narrator lists the few necessities they will bring. So they are desperate, okay? That's the mood it's creating. They are resigning, they're giving up, okay? Giving up their hope. So grade 7s, I hope that clearly explains to you the author's style as well as the concept vocabulary and word study that I've discussed with you now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.